come a little closer.
So, Danielle, when is the CWA thing?
It's going to be at the end of March.
What do you know what time?
So I'll get there. Yeah.
What is the CWA thing?
So I'm Danielle with Congressman Polis' office. I handle trade issues here in the district. I've met many of you guys over the last 2 years on TPP. We thought that the TPA would have been dropped by President's Day. It was not. It's currently being negotiated by Warren Hatch and Senator Wyden. So we're waiting for their compromise to come out before the congressman makes a public statement. Either way, he wants to read the bill before he votes on it. He is taking everybody's concerns to Washington to make sure that they're being heard by the trade office. He's been very vocal about how he wants to see more transparency. He has some concerns around intellectual property rights. He wants to see strong enforceable standards for labor and environment. All of this stuff he wants to make sure is in the agreement before he supports it. He is traditionally for these type of trade agreements. He has voted for them in the past, but he has concerns about this one, and he's taking them very, very seriously, and he definitely wants to continue hearing from you guys as you guys learn more about it. If you have some concerns, we pass those along to him as well. There is going to be a TPP forum that's being put on by our office on March 30th. We're still working on the details. There will be people for and against this on this forum. Watch for our website. It'll be the last week of March probably for more information. People will have to register because there's limited seating at these events. So it'll be more of an academic kind of atmosphere rather than a town hall. People will be able to ask questions. We're having somebody from the U.S. Trade Office come out and participate as well. So hopefully we'll kind of allow people to see both sides, because I think we tend to talk in bubbles on both sides.
Who's representing the opposition?
We're working with CWA to get somebody.
We're actually trying to get our national president, Larry Coe, to come to it.
Yeah.
So how many people will be on the panel?
We're still working on that. We're very early in the process as to who.
How many trade lawyers will be on?
No trade lawyers.
Good.
There will be someone from the U.S. Trade Office. I don't know if he's a trade lawyer, but he's from the administration.
How about a town hall on this as well? Because I think that Jared needs to hear directly from all of us about this, and he hasn't. I mean, people have been able to write letters, we've been able to talk to you, and you're very cordial, and you're very, willing to talk to us, Danielle. But there are basically his constituents outside of the big business community is against this. Every single labor union in the country nationally is against this.
Yeah. So we do have some general topic town halls that are being scheduled right now for that recess. None of them currently are specific to TPP, but I'll take that to Jared and let him know that you're interested in that. The forum is more about letting people discuss the issues. Since he doesn't have a position one way or another, he wants to make sure that both sides are represented.
Will we have time to read the materials before the meeting?
Well, will you guys have time to read them? Okay, so we don't even know if TPA will be introduced by then or not. So it depends. Hopefully it is. We don't know when they're going to finish that compromise. I wish he was more involved in that side of it, but it's really between the two senators.
Really, I just want to say one other thing, that if he approves TPA, he's basically approving TPP.
Well, and I've talked to...
Because Danielle, first of all, it's not mandatory. What's in TPA is not mandatory. And it basically gives the power to the president to finish the negotiations. I know that it will come back, but it doesn't allow for any changes in the actual TPP. I mean, you're basically saying, go forward. If he signs on to fast track, he's basically saying, I support whatever the president comes up to. It's not going to be any changes.
Yeah. So I will say that TPA will likely have a way that Congress will lay out as to how they want to be consulted during the process. If they don't feel like that the current negotiations are meeting their expectations, they can revoke TPA anytime. And Nancy Pelosi did that before. So if it's not going the way they think Congress should go, they do have the option of revoking it I can also say that the congressman sees them as two very different votes. The TPA is about setting up what they want to see negotiated in the agreement, and then voting on TPP is, was that stuff negotiated, and is this what I believe in? And so he'll take those votes as two very separate votes. They're related, yes, but
Well,
if he
it's gonna
votes for
go-
TPA, it does not mean he'll vote for TPP or vice versa.
It may not, but it will mean that there won't be any changes. That if it doesn't go through the regular process of a fast track goes through, it does mean that the document won't be changed. The TPP document will not be changed in any substantial way. I just wanted to point out also that 161 Democrats have come out against this.
Yeah.
There are only 10 Democrats in Congress that support this. And Jared is in a small group of undecided, so he's really out of step with the Democratic Party on this.
Yeah, I think Congressman Polis is always trying to look at it, what's in the best for his district, if the party is in line with that or not. He wants to read it, see what's in it before he makes a decision. So he's looking at what's best for the second congressional district.
Let's not forget there's one Democrat especially who does support it, and that is the president. So, sadly, that is problematic. But of those 161, let's make it 162 because that's where the pressure comes from.
And just so you guys, the U.S. Trade Office does have a way to give public comment on anything. So if you go to their website, I encourage you guys, they do respond to them. I don't think maybe the responses that everybody wants, but they do respond to those public comments. So I encourage you guys to visit their website and do that. The U.S. Trade Office.
And once this agreement is passed, since there are 11 countries, no comma, nothing ever will change.
I mean, it would have to be negotiated if something wanted to be changed, either through a letter or through the agreement itself.
No, to get 11 countries to virtually agree.
It's,
So if it took 10 years to renegotiate a better change, and in the meantime, common ecosystem would be destroyed in 10 years of renegotiation. And it's pretty hard to get those ecosystems back.
And that's why he's taking this decision so seriously, because it is a very important agreement.
So these other trade deals in the past have made it impossible for governments to do environmentally responsible things. Like local manufacturing of solar panels have been defeated by NAFTA.
Yeah, so you're talking about the investor state dispute settlement. So there are 3,000 agreements around the world that have ISDS in them. The U.S. is party to 50 of them. Each one of those agreements is very, very different. So it's really how it's negotiated, what it will do. Congressman Polis has been assured, and he's read the agreement himself, that the ISDS would not prevent local governments from fracking or from banning fracking or GMOs, and he has said that if it did, he would not vote for it.
Would he release the text of that so that we could
He
see
cannot release the text.
Why not?
He can't even go into the room with notes or staff.
So don't you think that's
Well, and he's been very public about saying that this needs to be a more transparent process.
Would you encourage him to release the notes?
He
As a
can't take
matter-
notes.
As a matter of protecting people?
He can't take notes, so it's not if he wants to continue.
You can ask.
So is it the trade lawyers that say he can't do
It's the
that?
U.S. Trade Office and the administration. Yeah, they're the ones that would have to release the information.
That's not a democracy.
Well, he's been very public that he doesn't agree with that, and he's been pushing for transparency. So we would agree with you guys on that.
Yeah, we can hope for WikiLeaks.
Yeah, I will say that WikiLeaks, that document that was leaked, was quite a while ago, and it's probably a very different document now than it was then. If anybody's ever negotiated a contract and gone back and forth, it's not the same agreement.
No, but thank goodness.
Right? It doesn't. We don't know what's in it.
And how, if the people don't know what's in it, why should we allow fast track?
It's about Congress weighing in on the process. That's what fast track is about. It's about setting what their standards are and how they want to be consulted.
And they're not consulting with us.
Well, they set the process of how they want to be consulted. If that's so many meetings or members being a part of the actual negotiation, fast track that sets that, outlines that.
2,000 pages can't be read and understood.
Can't take those out when you can follow that
Yeah.
stuff.
That
The congressman agrees that the process needs to be improved and it needs to be more transparent. He doesn't disagree with you
Is he a
guys on
speed
that.
reader?
I've heard rumors that he is. I don't know if he is or not. I've never personally asked him. He does read it. He does read
Yeah,
through
right,
every
yeah.
bill. So.
The purpose here is really to push it through, Danielle, and before people really know what's in it. You know, the former trade representative, Kirk, said that, I was asked by Reuters, why is this secret? And he said if people knew what was in it, they would never put up with it. So, I mean, that's a startling display of honesty on his part. But, I mean, we're not, we don't believe that this, that there's any we don't believe there's any transparency here, and we don't think there's going to be if fast track goes through. This really, I mean, you know, Jared can talk about transparency, but there's nothing transparent here.
Well, and he agrees that there needs to be more transparency. I don't think he's ever said otherwise, that he agrees with that process at all.
So if he's so strong on transparency, he should be strong on saying no fast track.
Well, it's about the process of fast track, so it's about Congress setting out how they want to be consulted during the process. It's not saying that he agrees with TPP or not. It's about
So he should
the
make
process.
full transparency a condition.
Well, and that's why he's waiting to see what's in this TPA bill, to see what the compromise is between the two
Well,
parties.
why wait? Why not say it now?
He can't
today?
see it. It's still
No, but
being
he can-
negotiated.
He can say
He has
full release.
released. He has said what he wants to see in TPA, and that's all on our website under the Trade Action Center. All of the letters that he has written. He has said that he wants to see this, this, and this in TPA in order to support it.
No, I mean, if he is for transparency, he should demand a full release of the current text of the TPP.
Well, I'll make that suggestion to him.
And Danielle, there's 160 other legislators that have stood up and said that they're disapprove. Is that the case? There's many. I mean, he's saying he's not going to. The reason he's not making a statement is because he hasn't read it yet.
Right.
Or that, you know, that he hasn't, and he doesn't, that's his response. But others are.
I
So
know.
why the
Jared has his
discrepancy?
own process, though. Each member of Congress has their own process on how they make decisions. So that's his. He wants to read the TPA before he makes a decision on it, and he does that with
But there's
all legislation.
a lot goes between what other people think, you know. And I know he wants to be independent, but sometimes you have to do trade-offs. That's what this whole agreement is trade-offs. And it seems like he could say something and still reserve the right to read it all and stand and let his people know and have this open process on the 30th where I want a seat in that room. You know, you said there's going to be limited.
Because there's limited
And
seats.
I
in
want to
the seat.
hear. That's what I don't. I mean, I'm glad we're here talking to you about this, but I want to hear the substantive stuff.
Yeah.
We're all busy enough in our lives that we need to, you know, we can't always read like RJ can all of the details of these things, and we need to hear it out.
Yeah.
And so that's very. To put it in a
How big will the overflow room be?
You know, I didn't arrange the rooms. I know that there's 90 seats in the one room, and then there's going to be an overflow room to accommodate others.
Yeah, put it in the course.
Folsom Field.
We've got these big. Yeah, we have these big things. Why not?
Sorry.
Yeah, when you're ready, I want to close with a song. We have a song written for you.
Okay, great. I'm ready.
Not
whenever-
quite yet. I mean, I think that's an important point, Danielle,
Yeah.
is that if he's going to have these kind of events, it needs to be big enough, whether it's a town hall meeting or something, so that his constituents can come. I mean, we don't want to go in there and have it stacked with people from industry and not be able to get in.
Yeah.
No, really,
I
seriously.
wish we could stack them sometimes, but we can't.
Well, whatever.
Right,
But
yeah.
I mean, come on, you'd only be able to find a place with 90 people.
Well, it's
in Boulder.
It's not just our office that's working on this, so we had to work with CU on this, and we had to work
Then
with the
CU
administration.
can offer
and
their stadium.
Well,
They have the biggest places in town.
What is the current venue?
Mackey Auditorium, Boulder
it's
High Even Auditorium.
it's in the humanities building, from what my understanding. We're working. We'll make a suggestion to make it a bigger venue. We're doing the best that we can with the resources that we're given.
I have a question. It almost sounds silly to put on your mouth. Is this a way to draw attention to the issue or to the man? What is this indecision really about?
I think it's about Jared wanting to read the text of the TPA before he votes. I mean, this is not the first issue where he has said he wants to read it beforehand. So I think it's about his own process, about how he makes decisions and takes these situations so seriously. He's taking it really seriously. I'm impressed that he's taking it. I mean, as a staffer, he takes this very seriously, and I'm glad he's taking in all the information that's out there and making a decision. And he's not taking it lightly. I mean, that's important, that you can't just rush to a conclusion.
And does he have a line in the sand, a tipping point, either way?
So he has some letters that he has put up as to what his lines are around, specifically around labor standards. All that's on our website. If you have more questions after you look at it, let me know.
If he had one that this doesn't happen, I'm going to vote this way.
Well, an example is if this prevents local governments from banning fracking, I will vote against it. That's an example. He has said that.
If somebody could come up with a larger venue for that town hall at no expense to the congressman and taxpayers, would he accept
The problem is we have ethic rules that prevent us from taking gifts, including free venues.
Really?
So, yeah, we've run across that before. So we have to pay for the venue.
Suppose it's a venue provided by the Democratic Party.
That we definitely could not run an official event. Yeah.
Government, can't they provide us a big enough fund? This
Nope.
is our government.
It has to come through
That
from
should
the.
be free.
Yeah. We're not given the budget for that kind of. Yeah, it's working within our restrictions. It's not our only public event for the district.
I mean, the purpose of the event is to have an open discussion, dialogue between two sides. So it's not like there's either an influence in any way. It's like a public forum. There should be public funds for that.
Well, and I'll share with Jared that you guys are interested in a larger venue and possibly a more town hall type. I'll share that with him. Thank you.
We have 20% of that room standing right here, right now.
I have a question. If there was a public forum with like big more people and people were talking about TPP, would Jared be able to accept an invitation to come and hear from his constituents?
Yep, he could accept it. You would just contact the scheduler in the DC office.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So any other?
Yeah, we have a song
Great.
to sing for you guys. And if you want to hum along, it's a song to tune Feeling Groovy, the 59th Street Blues by Simon and Garfunkel. Okay, ready? All right, so loud and clear, ready? Slow down, the track is fast. You've got to make democracy last. Time is ticking down, so do it soon. Out in the sun, the TPP is shady. Hello, Polis, what you knowin'? I've come to watch your voters roamin'. Ain't got no time for me. Do-do-do-do, fast track is shady. CEO wants deals with you. No promises to keep. I'm active and rowdy and ready to speak. How fast tracks and TPP really do reek. Beware all of you, TPP is shady.
I always love you guys' songs. If anybody wants to leave the congressman a handwritten note, we've got forms in the office. He does read those. We will be sending them to him, so feel free to leave a note.
Thanks for spending the time with us.
I love you guys. I feel like it's an extended family almost.